Thank you. Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm not 15 years old, even though I look it. I am 23, and if that's my biggest weakness, that's great, because inevitably, no matter what I do, that's going to change. I grew up 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, coaching young women for Tennessee who were older than me. And so to even be older than our players now is a blessing, and I'm glad for that. It's a change of scenery. I am honored to be here. 3 national championships, 13 Final Fours, 21 WNBA players. I'm honored to be here. Growing up as a boy, Louisiana Tech was the standard, on and off the court. Every single day in Lady Vols practices, Louisiana Tech, we got to beat the best. In the classroom, off the court, the way that Louisiana Tech players handled themselves, that was the standard. And I'm so honored to be here. I have a lot of thanks because today is not about me. First, to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I would not be here if it wasn't for him. And Colossians 3:17 says to glorify him in everything we do, and I see this day as glorifying him. To my wife, Andy, I way outkicked my coverage. She makes me a better person and better man every single day, and I love her. To my family, my parents, especially for being here, my friends, and all of my mentors. Again, I would not be here today if it were not for others, and others is what it's all about. I want to thank Dr. Geis, his wife Kathy, and the university for believing in me and seeing my vision. I want to thank Tommy, his wife Jessica, Mary Kay, and the entire athletic department for, again, believing in what we can do here. I want to thank Dr. Liberatos and the Athletics Council for approving my hire, and very, very excited to get to know the faculty on campus. The players, that's what it's all about, and we've had a team meeting, but I really want to say this is a remarkable group of young women, and I'm honored to lead them and to get to know them. Very excited, and that's probably what excites me most. Is the team. I also want to thank the Louisiana Tech family, all the past coaches, Sanja, Leon, for being here, for putting Louisiana Tech women's basketball on the map. I want to thank all the former players for everything they did, not just for this university, but for the women's game. This is a jewel in women's basketball. And I want to thank all the fans. And my wife, Andy, and I look forward to getting to know you, but just want to thank you for your support and everything you've done to support us. With that said, we will embrace this tradition that we have. We will embrace this amazing success that we've had on and off the court. And the first way that I want to embrace the Louisiana Tech family is to announce our associate head coach, Mickey DeMoss. As many of you know, Mickey played here, coached with my mom for the majority of her career, is not only a friend and family member to me, but has been a mentor. And Mickey is very excited to come back close to home. I now want to talk about our vision, my vision, our vision moving forward. My vision is to help every single member of our program, these young ladies especially, be the best that they can be. We will accomplish that through our 5 standards: belief, family, which I think we already have a great family here, character, competition, and toughness. We will help every single person, every player, every student manager, every coach, our director of operations, whoever it is, be the best that they can be and accomplish their goals. What that will look like on the court is consistently competing for a Conference USA championship. If we are doing that, that means we have national recognition. That means we are in the NCAA tournament and we have a strong foundation and we move forward from there. I am more about how we do things than what happens in the end. I am more about the process than the results. Because if you take care of doing things the right way every single day in all that you do, the results will follow. And so we're very excited to protect what we have here through the process. We have the second most wins right now of any program in the nation, and we are protecting that. We have the second highest winning percentage of any program in the nation at home, right here in Ruston, of any program in the nation, and we are protecting that, not just on game nights, but every single day in the classroom, every single day in how we walk and talk and dress. Everything we do, we will do like champions. My main motivation to close, I remember being a little boy in the front of the bus driving onto campus, and there were fans everywhere, to the point where our bus had to slow down, and quite frankly, the fans would take their time and boo us a little bit as they walked by. Going into that arena and the intensity and the atmosphere, it was just incredible. The best band in the nation, the most intense fans, the players battling, and Mom and Leon playing chess on that court. I am so honored and so excited to be here, and I thank you for accepting me as your new head coach for Louisiana Tech women's basketball.
All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions from the media.
How are you?
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
You know, what makes you, as a 23-year-old, feel like you can handle the responsibilities of being a Division I basketball player?
I think growing up, I was the head coach of multiple AAU teams. We actually had a state championship team in Tennessee. I was around 20 years old. There were 17-year-olds. Again, I was very close in age. Put the Candace Parkers and Alexis Hornbuckles through individual workouts. So if we're talking about Olympians, WNBA players, I've seen what it takes. Was blessed to be a student assistant for my mom 2007, 2008, 2009, and we were blessed with 2 national championships in those years. So again, if we look just at my resume and it shows Marquette, I've been an assistant coach with a head coach mentality all my life. Was very fortunate at Marquette. Was in charge of the offense, the out of bounds. I called every single play for those 2 years, scouted over half our games. I helped with recruiting, especially with Minnesota. We got a lot of commitments to come, and it was very exciting there. So again, I feel like I've been preparing for this my whole life.
What do you think will be the biggest challenges of turning this program around?
I think moving forward is getting the buy-in and our system in place. And anything in life, it's all about the people. And so we're going to work on getting a great staff that buys in to our system and what we believe. To get our young ladies to buy into our system and what we believe. Hitting the recruiting trail and getting people to buy into what we have here, not only in the past, but right now in the present and in the future.
Tommy talked about all the attention around the job. When did it start for you?
Well, he contacted me, and other schools had contacted me about head coach openings. And I have to tell you again, Louisiana Tech was the priority, and there are a number of other positions, I won't name them, that reached out. and I stalled them, if you will. Didn't return every phone call. This is where I wanted to be, and I know that God had a plan to put my wife Andy and me here, and it started a while back, but I have so much respect for Tommy. I'm going to love working with him, and I know his vision and Dr. Geis's vision, and just honored to be a part of what's going on at this university.
Do you ever get sick of like the youth narrative of being 23? Do you wish people would just judge you for who you are instead of 23 next to your name?
Growing up, a lesson that I was taught, and there were many, trust me. A lesson that I was taught that I will have to have a thick skin. I don't care if I'm 23, if I'm 60 and won national championships. There's always going to be somebody who says he's not ready. That says it's because of his last name. That says no, that's not the guy. And so it really doesn't bother me. God is my strength. I have an incredible support group, incredible group of young ladies. And so they can call me whatever they want. It's not going to bother me because we're going to be focused on that process.
Tyler, you called all the offensive plays at Marquette. Talk about your style offensively.
I think that I'm very capable to fit a system to our players. At Tennessee, we ran a continuous ball screen offense. We ran the triangle offense, is what a lot of the national championships were run on. Ran the dribble drive offense. Coach Pearl ran the flex offense. Coach Martin ran the motion offense. At Marquette, we got into some Princeton. So I'm very comfortable in terms of offense, defense, fitting our style to our players. I will tell you that we will be an up-tempo team. We will rebound, we will defend. I think those two words are ingrained in my head. We will run in transition both ways, not just with the ball. We got to learn to run without the ball. We will execute, and we will focus on skill development for these young ladies, because that does not only make us successful, it makes them successful. A goal for me is for each and every one of them, if they want it, have two opportunities to go pro once they're done. One is in their career with their degree. One is in basketball. And I will do everything I can to provide that for each and every one of them if they want it.
You talked to Roy Lang. Congratulations. You talked a little bit about the tradition in growing up in Louisiana Tech was the standard. I'm sure it's still sinking in for your family, but Tennessee and Louisiana Tech, and Leon could probably speak to this. It's almost like Duke Carolina crossing the line there. You talk about coming over and wearing red and blue.
Well, in a way, I feel like I grew up in the Louisiana Tech culture, because the more I learn, the more I read, the more I see, there were so many similarities between the two. Championship culture every single day. Don't care if we're recruiting, if we're in the office, if it's our office coordinator answering the phone call. Whatever it is, every single day, everything matters. And so, though it may seem weird that Tennessee and Louisiana Tech are crossing paths, to me it's fitting, because it's that same tradition, that same culture, very similar.
And I would imagine it speaks to the respect your mom and Leon and the programs have always had for each other?
Absolutely. Mom and Leon got to talk already, and the respect between the two. I mean, we would go home, and I'm 10, 11 years old, and I'm watching film with my mom, and she man, Leon called a good one right there. So much respect, and I've already met with Leon, and he has been so gracious to my wife and I, and looking forward to including him in our program and moving forward.
Do you find it a little unique, Tyler, that not only do you have this fan base, obviously, but because of the respect and the love that your mom has from Tennessee fans, you also have that contingent. It's a different conference, kind of a different atmosphere. That Orange Nation may also be rooting for a Summitt down here. Do you find that kind of interesting?
At every Marquette game, there was at least 5 people in orange. It didn't matter where we were. They were there, and so we're going to try to get them to wear our colors. But again, so thankful for how blessed that I've been with the people that surround me. And again, I promise you, this is not about me. It's about God and it's about others. And so we welcome all the Tennessee fans unless we play them.
As far as your style, Tyler, and just kind of your philosophy there, what you learned at the knee of your mother compared to what you learned as a Division I basketball player under Bruce and Quanzo, which one was more valuable, you think, in becoming a head coach?
We won't get into too big of a measuring contest here. But I think I drew from each and every one of them. And again, so grateful to grow up learning and living the championship culture every day. And it really was all I knew. So to then go and see Coach Pearl style, Coach Martin style, Terry Mitchell style at Marquette. Again, I started a filing system on my computer when I was in high school, 15 years old, and started writing down everything. I mean, team meeting speeches for the Lady Vols. Again, everything about Coach Pearl, everything about Coach Martin, everything about Marquette, and just, again, so thankful for all of that. In terms of my style, I think you'll see a little bit of everybody in what we do. And so very excited to establish that culture, and it's going to be centered on the competition and toughness pieces. If we don't play hard, I'll say this again, if a student athlete doesn't play hard, she is either not going to be playing very much or at all. We're going to play hard, and that's what we're going to start with.
Before you ended up in Marquette, you had some opportunities to go to some men's programs, but you felt like you were destined to be in women's basketball. Talk about that.
A saying that my main mentor in coaching, besides my mom, and her main mentor, Billy Moore, her Olympic coach, said is, with men, they have to play well in order to feel good. If they go out there and they hit their shots and things, they're probably gonna feel good. With women, it's a little different. Sometimes they have to feel good in order to play well. And so I'm all about relationships. And I told Dr. Geis and Tommy, if they wanted just an X's and O's basketball guy, I wasn't the right candidate. I'm about these young ladies and about them succeeding on and off the court and being the best people they can be, first and foremost. And so, I think that's why I am in women's athletics. I really know the value of former coaches calling their coach 10 years after they graduate. And again, it's so exciting to me to have this Louisiana Tech family with all the former players. And my wife, Andy, and I are looking forward to get to know them.
Shed a little light on what that conversation with Coach Barmore was like whenever y'all got to sit down and talk.
We talked about his two granddaughters being held by my mom, a long time ago, and he had pictures of them. And I think we sent them some Tennessee gear, and I don't know if they wore it or not. I think they wore it once at least. But again, the respect that I have for Leon, and I just see him now as another mentor to call on moving forward, and very excited about continuing our relationship with him.
Tyler, growing up in the situation that you did, obviously you got the competitive drive, the will to win. A lot of people in your situation, no matter what sport it is, growing up under a coach or an athlete, take that and go elsewhere. But it was clear early on that you wanted to be a coach. When did you know this? I mean, it seemed like a long time ago, even though you were 23.
I think little kids grew up wanting to be firefighters, policemen. I always wanted to be a head coach, and Mom always said, I don't think you want to be a head coach. But and the things that come with that, the pressure, and everybody talks about the pressure of the Summitt name, and you can view pressure as an enemy or as an ally, and pressure has been my ally ever since I started coaching, and it really drives me because it's always going to be there. We talk about that tough skin that I will have to have. It's always going to be there. And so that's, again, that pressure as an ally is a huge motivation moving forward.
What role did your mom play during all this? Did you have discussions with her? Did she give you any advice throughout this process?
I called her not only this summer, but last summer. There were a few schools, Chattanooga, Coastal Carolina, I interviewed for their head coaching position. I would call and say, Chattanooga, Coastal Carolina this year, hey, this school, that school, Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech? Yeah. Leon and I had some battles down there. Mom was very excited, and my mom and dad have been so supportive of me and have always treated me like an adult. Since I was very little, I didn't go to many sleepovers. I was at banquets and with donors and at games and in locker rooms. And so my parents are incredible.